Well, hello, and welcome back to that thing we call Curless Mania, where we talk all things rock, pop, and prog. Man, do we have a special episode for all you tonight. I shouldn't say tonight, whenever you're watching this. You can't timestamp it because it's YouTube. So, but we have a different type of episode for you for this episode. This is different. We usually do battles tonight. Keep saying tonight. It's okay. Tonight we're doing a
It
top
is
10.
tonight. It is
It
tonight.
is tonight. It's okay. Tonight we're doing a top 10, and I have a very, very, very special guest for you, and that is my daughter McKenna. How are you,
Hello.
McKenna? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and I'm very excited to be on this channel. It has been anticipated. I've been anticipating it, and Maddie's been on the channel before, so I was like, it's my time. It's my time to make an appearance. So that's
It
why I'm
is your
here.
time. It is your time. It's
Here.
overdue. And we've been talking about this for so long. We're like, okay, McKenna, I want you on the channel. What do you want to do? And
Yeah.
we couldn't think of anything better to do than Beatles because McKenna basically grew up on the Beatles. Is
Yes.
that
Yes,
fair to
I
say?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It was
know a
like
lot. I know a lot.
we used to watch the Beatles anthology
hmm
when you were
Oh
very
yeah.
young. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And we
Lots of nostalgia.
and we watched Yellow Submarine.
Mm. And
And
a hard day's night.
yep,
And
yep.
the one with the diamond ring.
Help.
Help. That's what it was. Yeah.
The Ring. The Ring.
Yep.
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 So, um,
hmm
yep. So she's basically a big Beatles fan. So I thought, okay, what better to do than a Beatles top 10 for McKenna? So I challenged her to narrow it down, which is very challenging, to 10 songs from the Beatles that it really, when the rubber hits the road, what are your 10 songs that, and of course it's like today, right? I mean, tomorrow it could be different. Um,
Right.
but right? But for me it's virtually impossible, so I didn't even do it. I was like, I can't do 10 songs, it's just
I
impossible.
know, because originally I think we both had the idea we were gonna do 10, and Dad was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I can do
I
that.
just can't do it. I just can't. It's
It's
just like
hard. It's hard.
it's
It's rough."
impossible. I mean, not literally top 20 would be hard for me. So it's just like,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just gonna let you take the reins on this one, and I'm just
All
gonna
right.
I'll just piggyback on your comments.
Okay.
So McKenna, you have the floor for your top 10 all-time Beatles songs.
All right. So the way I did this, I didn't rank them 1 through 10. What I did was I listed like my top 10 favorite Beatles songs by order of which they were released, like in the albums. Um, because I was like, that is way too hard to rank them. You know what I mean? Like number
Yeah.
one Beatles song and last Beatles song. So that's what I did.
So there's no
Um,
ranking. There's no particular
no.
ranking. It's just 10
No
songs.
particular ranking. I hope that's okay.
That's
I
totally
just
fine.
did. Okay. I just did 10 songs and I was like, I think these are my favorite. All right, so let's just get started. Um, so my first song that I listed is All My Loving, which is with the Beatles, 1963.
Hmm.
And that song for me is yes. I actually have a shirt in my closet with that cover.
Hmm. And
Um,
in America it was called Meet the Beatles. So there you go.
oh really?
Yeah, in the
Oh
UK it
wow.
was called With the Beatles. In the United States it was called Meet the Beatles.
Wow. Well, there you
There you
go.
go. Same cover
Um,
though.
yeah. That I feel like that album overall is very nostalgic for me because I don't know, I remember I remember listening to all of these songs as kids, but that song, I don't know, in particular is just very it feels sort of like the Beatles like first like really popular song. And I don't know, I love it. I love it. I love everything about it.
Yeah. It seems like it could be more of a Paul centric song. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
but I think it might be more of a Paul idea that John kind of helped with.
Yeah.
Um, it has that sort of that all my loving,
Yeah.
darling, da da da. All my loving, darling, I'll be true.
Be
It just
true.
has that very, very Paul feel to it.
Yeah. I also love how the song just starts. It's close your eyes and
And
I'll
I'll
miss you.
kiss
Like
you
it's like
tomorrow. I'll miss you.
it's
Yeah.
so upbeat, just like right off the top, and it's just like so like
Yep.
happy.
Yep. There's no
Like I
intro. It just goes straight into the vocal, straight in.
yes, it
Yeah.
does. Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my first one.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Number two, I put And I Love Her, A Hard Day's Night,
Yes.
1964.
Yep.
That song is one of my all-time favorites. I just something about it. I came across it well, I don't want to keep repeating this. Grew up on all the Beatles songs, but there are some times where I'm just in the car or I'm just like listening by myself and there's a song that I haven't heard in a long time. And that was that song for me. And I love her. And I remember I listened to it and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like I haven't listened to this in such a long time. It is so good. And I just love everything about it. And yeah, it's
Mhm.
a great song. It's very mellow and you and I sing it all the time in the kitchen. It's great.
Yes.
Song.
Yes. It's just such a it's again as usual with the Beatles, it's so melodic and so it's just I mean, even just that do 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 do. I mean, that apparently that was a great story about George contributing to a song where Paul and John brought in this song and he said it needs a hook. And he was the one that came up with that do 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 do,
Oh,
you know,
do,
do
do,
do
do.
do do, you
And
know.
just the lyrics in that song too. Oh,
I
like
give her all my love. Yeah.
oh,
That's all I do. It's so
and
good.
I love her. It's like I don't know. It's like butter that song. I don't know. It's just like so like
It's
good.
it's like hot butter on toast.
It is. It's great song.
Yeah.
All right, so next one on the list is Norwegian Wood, a Rubber Soul, 1965. Um, thank you for that.
Yep.
Perfect. This song I've listened to quite a lot. I'm pretty sure it's showed up on my top 5 songs I listened to throughout the whole year. Um, which is kind of unexpected, honestly. But I wanted
That
to
is
include
kind
it
of a
on the list.
surprise for me. I'm surprised on this one for some
Yeah.
reason. Yeah.
I wanted to include it on the list because I'm like, well, apparently I listened to it that often that
Mhm.
like I don't know, I think it's another one of those like comforting songs for me. It's mellow again and I don't know. I love it. Isn't that does John sing lead vocal on that?
Yes,
Okay.
this is more of a John song. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently it's based on a true story of some kind. It's sort of like a some of the lyrics are true and some of them aren't. Like it's kind of like um but Norwegian Wood is known, I mean obviously Rubber Soul was kind of where they started to change a little bit from something like this. You know what I
No,
mean?
absolutely.
They
Absolutely. It's totally a
you know
change. Yeah.
this is like when they started to, I mean, like for example, Norwegian Wood has a sitar on it, right? And that George plays sitar on
Yeah.
Norwegian Wood, and it had just that ding 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 ding. It's just again, it's another melodic hook, but it's very
Yeah.
like sit. But in 1965, nobody was putting sitars on songs at that
Well,
time.
right. Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Like, were people very hesitant about Rubber Soul, like, because it had a different vibe to it?
No, I think it was perfect for the time. I think that
Like,
music was changing generally, and the Beatles were leading the way. And really, Rubber Soul is a little bit different, but it definitely is still it's still got a lot of like very melodic poppy songs on it.
yeah.
But it's so high. I mean, it's so high quality. Like Brian Wilson, when he heard this album, he was like, "Oh my God!" He was kind of blown away. Like, I need to, and it inspired him. Like, he's like, "This album has no bad songs on it." He said, "I want to do my next album. I want to do a song with an album with all killer, no filler, like just like the Beatles just did,
Yeah.
you
Wow.
know?
There
And
you
he
go.
ended up doing pet sounds from listening to this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Some fun
Yes.
fact.
Yep.
All right.
Norwegian Wood
Next.
is a great pick. Great pick, by the way.
Yes, yes. But this one's also from Rubber Soul, actually.
Okay.
Now that we're on it. If I Needed Someone. This song
Yes.
actually
Yes.
Actually, I don't think I would have put this on my list if Dad and I weren't driving in the car listening to a concert for George, because this is another one of those songs that sort of came up for me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a great song."
Yeah,
And oh my gosh, it truly is.
it
Like
is.
I love the chorus, like, and I don't know, it's one of those songs that I can like relate to, like um it's basically like I would call you if I needed someone, if something went wrong or whatever. And I can relate to that because I always think of my sister, like Maddie, like, if I needed someone, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's a good song. It's a good song.
Yeah, I always thought the lyric was, this is just my interpretation. I don't know, but I always thought it was, what is it? If I needed someone to love you, you're the one that I'd be thinking of. Um, if I had some more time to spend, then I guess
And
I'd
I
be with
guess that
you,
would be my
my
friend. Yeah,
my
it's
friend.
just
So
very
it's
like,
it's kind of like if I wasn't with someone else, I maybe I'd be with you. It's kind of
yeah,
like that's the way I always viewed it, but I'm not sure.
yeah. I don't know.
Who
There are
knows?
different ways you can interpret it, but I don't know. I just think it's a very like fun song, and I love the guitar in it. I don't know.
I
I'm
love
not,
I love the chimey guitars in it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's a great song.
And like I think that like you said, it got introduced to you by Concert for George because
Yes, it did.
when
Yeah.
Concert for George came out, I used to play that a lot because I thought it was such a great concert, and it was the tribute to George Harrison, and
Yep.
they do such a good version of that on Concert for
They
George, and,
do. They
and I
do.
think I
Yeah.
think Jeff Lynne sings it, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
of ELO,
Yeah.
sings the version of this, and it's so good, and
Yeah.
it just kind of was like, oh yeah, I really like this song.
Yeah. And again, it came up. I'm like, wow, another great song.
Yeah,
It's
that's a George song, by the way. Another a Harrison song.
yes, it definitely
It's your
is. It
first
definitely
Harrison
is.
pick. Yep.
And you could totally tell when it's like George's songs, because like when he goes like single, what's it called? When he goes solo.
Solo. Right.
When he goes solo, it's just like you can tell like that's his vibe,
Hmm.
and it's great.
I know what you mean. Yeah, you can tell. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next on the list is from Revolver, 1966, and it's Here, There, Everywhere.
Yes.
Another, I feel like most of these songs on my list are very mellow.
Yeah.
And that's like my kind of music taste. Um, and I feel like with these songs, like that I've said so far, especially this song, I feel like the Beatles were definitely ahead of their time. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't know, I love the lyrics of the song again, and it's yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to say?
Yes. Yes. It's another one where the lyrics come right in to lead a better life. Right away. It's of course it's a Paul song. It's very, very Paul.
Yes.
And in fact, this is one that here's a fun fact for you that apparently John said he wished he had written it.
Really?
Yeah, he
Wow.
said he said it was such a good song. He goes, I wish that's a song I wish I had written. Um,
Wow.
and they have like what's so beautiful about that song is they have those block harmonies going throughout the song. Like I think it's like midway through the song, they start oohing or whatever, and they have
Yeah, it's like
those
mm,
block harmonies that keep moving with the melody, and it's just so beautiful. It's such a great
it's
effect.
beautiful. Yeah, it's a great song. Great song.
Yeah, no, it's just such a well-written song, and it's like I said, I mean, the fact that John Lennon, who was an amazing writer, said, "I wish I'd written that," is says a
Yeah,
lot. So,
it does say a lot for
you know,
sure. All right. We're more than halfway through.
okay.
Um, the next one's also from Revolver. It's I Want to Tell You, which is another
Another George.
song.
Yes.
Another George song.
Yes.
Oh, I love this song. I've been listening to this a lot more recently, and the harmonies in this go crazy. Like
Yes.
when it's like, I want to tell you,
No, but I don't know
and I
why.
don't know why. And
Yeah.
like the harmonies there are so good. Oh my goodness.
That's the thing about the Beatles is that they
Dur,
had,
dur, dur,
they had
dur, dur, dur.
I
Dur, dur,
mean, it's a great riff, really catchy riff. And then, like you said, you can't, the Beatles were, I mean, John, Paul, and George were all great singers. So they had three great singers in the band. That
yeah,
is a massive, that is a huge thing, and they would do those harmonies and they were just spot on every time. I mean, I don't think they had to work that hard at it.
right. Yeah.
Thing that happened with them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love that
Oh, it's so catchy.
it kind of sounds like a song that the Monkees would like try to rip off.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
really good song. Really good song.
Great song.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Magical Mystery Tour, 1967.
I'm surprised it took this long to get to Magical Mystery Tour for you because I know
No,
you're a fan.
but I'm saying it goes by year. It goes by year.
Okay, okay, got
So
it.
now we're at
Oh,
Magical
gotcha,
Mystery.
gotcha. You're going in
Yeah.
chronological.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly,
okay.
exactly.
So we're at 67. That's correct.
Yep.
Yep.
This was rough. This was rough because I will say, and Dad knows this, Magical Mystery Tour is a high on the album rank. It's high up there for me.
Yep. Yep.
Um, I don't know why. I just feel like my dad and I we listened to it a lot together, and I feel like a lot of the songs I just like really liked. This was rough, because on my list there's only two songs from this album.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so it was really hard choosing which songs. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, it's
Anyways,
hard.
so
It's hard.
the
Yeah.
song that I picked was Penny Lane.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like maybe bit of a basic pick, but I don't know. I just love Paul singing in this song. It's just so like jolly and I don't know. Again, very nostalgic for me. And yeah,
I love the
yeah.
production of it. Um, I love the feel the high trumpet that goes on that apparently Paul said to George Martin like I heard this trumpet on the TV. He was watching something with an orchestra and he said I heard this really high trumpet. Do you know what that is? Can I put this on Penny Lane? And he said I know exactly what you're talking about and they put it on the song. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But it's such a catchy, and and Penny Lane is all about his Liverpool childhood.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just such a Paul song, right? Like,
yes, huge Paul song. Yeah,
yeah, it truly is. And
yeah,
like the lyrics, like I don't know, I feel like in Penny Lane there are very specific lyrics, like I don't know. Again, it's like you said, it's like his childhood, so
yeah.
and
And I feel like at this point, this is where John and Paul started to kind of seriously write like separately. Like they really weren't collaborating as much anymore. They were kind of writing their own
yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Because like Paul did Penny Lane and John did I Am the Walrus. So, you know.
Two completely different songs, if you
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or sorry, so I meant to say Strawberry Fields because they did a single with Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields, and that was John and Paul.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
The walrus was Paul.
Yes. Here's another clue for you all.
That's another great song.
Yeah.
Looking through a glass onion.
Oh yeah, it's another great one. Exactly.
All right. Next on Magical Mystery Tour, I chose Your Mother Should Know.
All
That
right. I
this
knew that was
song,
coming. I knew that was
yeah,
coming.
this song was one of those songs for me where in fourth grade when I listened to this, um, where I actually was like consciously listening to this song.
Mhm.
Um, it was one of those songs that like itched my brain. And
Yeah.
I like for some reason like could those like either like a video or a song that just like itches your brain and you're just like, whoa, like why?
It's an earworm. It's an
Like,
earworm.
I don't understand why, but just something about it. Like, it has become like one of my favorite Beatles songs because I just like, it was just like, whoa. It's something
Mhm.
I hadn't really heard before. It's like, let's all get up and dance to a song that was a hit before your mother was. But like, it was just so different. And I was like,
Yes.
oh. And I remember watching the music video of them like walking down the stairs in like suits or something. And
Yes. That's
yeah,
from the Magical Mystery Tour movie. Yep.
yes.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Again, it was just so different and like something that I hadn't heard before. I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay. And Paul's vocals are, of course, just like very Pauly. I don't even know how to
Perfect.
explain them.
No,
They're
they're really
great, but
what's
yeah,
great. Yeah, great
yeah,
vocals.
yeah,
And it's very this one's extremely Paul, where it's like he likes to do the sort of old-timey songs on occasion.
yeah,
And this is
yeah.
kind of like sort of like one of those songs where and he's talking about how your mom should know the song, like because it's an old-timey
Yes, yeah,
song.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
but I love
It's
the backing vocals. Your mother should know. Like,
oh,
I always end up singing the backing vocals just as much as yeah. So
yeah, yeah. It's and I love how that's like basically the basis of the song. It's like just that chorus just repeated basically,
right.
and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great song, great song.
Yes.
I keep saying that about all of them because
No,
they're all
but
great. They're
they are all
all
great.
great.
You can keep saying it because it's true. It's okay. You
I
can
don't
say
know
they're
what else
great
to
because they
say. I'm
are.
just like, oh, they're great. They're great.
I'm trying to think of other ways to say great.
I can't. I
Yeah.
can't, unfortunately. All right, moving on to Abbey Road,
Okay.
1969.
All right.
Abbey Road, I will say, is also one of my top albums for the Beatles. I feel like similar to Revolver, I feel like there's not a song where I'm like gonna skip. I feel like
Yeah, it's barely a song you can skip.
barely a skipper,
Yeah.
barely a.
Yeah.
All right, so the song that I chose was Something,
Oh
which
yeah.
is
Yeah.
one of my top Beatles songs. I will say I listened to
Another George song.
I a lot of George songs, a
Yeah.
lot of George songs. I will say in my playlist, like my normal like day-to-day playlist, George Harrison like on his solo career is what I listen to a lot. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's maybe why I lean towards like those George Beatles
Yeah,
songs more.
maybe. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
'Cause I know another one of your favorites is Give Me Love, Give Me
Give
Peace.
Me Love
Yeah.
is a great
Yeah.
song. And oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now.
Um
Um ah,
My Sweet Lord?
yes, thank you, thank
My
you. I
Sweet
was
Lord.
like, it has Lord in the title.
My
Why am I
Sweet Lord. Yeah.
great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah.
But I chose something because I don't know. That's another song that's like butter. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so something in the way, and I love the do, 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 like, and it's not even like it's mellow throughout the whole song. It gets like more intense with like the drums, like you're asking me what I love. Like it gets like
I
more.
don't know.
I don't know. Like,
Da, 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 da.
oh.
Yeah.
And then the guitar riff, like in the, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
It's
so
like perfection.
good.
It's like,
It's
yeah.
so good. And
And
just
this and
listening.
those strings in the background just doing the
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
It is a great song. And I love listening to it at night because it's like so vibey.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you have anything to say?
No, I just think the production is just so just it sounds so good. Like it sounds like it's meticulously made and which because George was very meticulous about his songs and everything had to be like just so and you can just tell that he just worked on this one hard and it sounds so good and his vocal is amazing. Apparently it's a song about his wife Patty Boyd or Patty Harrison at the time. And there was also a song by James Taylor called Something the Way She Moves. So he was a little self
Really?
yeah, he was a little self-conscious about that, but they ended up just calling it something. Um,
Yeah.
but but yeah, no, and that, like you said, just those the guitar parts are just just so,
I
like you said,
yeah,
so understated. Like they're not crazy, but they're just perfect for the song.
yeah.
You know?
It's one of those Beatles songs that makes me choked up for some reason, like when I listen to it, because it's just so like I don't know, the way it was like recorded and the lyrics and the
Yes.
strings and the emotion. I don't know. It
No.
just moves you.
I know
It
what you
moves
mean. I
you.
totally know what you mean. There's like
Yeah.
pieces of music like that, and you're like, I'm not sure. I feel like I'm gonna cry. Why is that? Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's
Like
almost like it's
not
like
even meant to be a sad song.
it's like the combination of like melody plus lyrics plus it just hits you. It just that's what
Yeah.
music that music has that power. It does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's definitely up there. I listen to that song quite a lot. It's on repeat
Right.
for me.
Yeah. Great song. Awesome.
Yep.
Great.
And then last one on my top 10 is Because.
Oh
And
yeah. Sweet.
great, great song. Oh my goodness.
Abbey Road again.
The
Yep.
harmonies in that song are fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh my
Um,
God. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Getting
No,
ahead of myself. But
well, there's a picture of like I think if I can find it, I swore that was in this. There's a picture of them like in the studio on a microphone, like all three of them, like John, George, and Paul, just all like with their ear like singing, and you can they're probably I mean I don't know what song they're doing, but I always picture that that they were like three guys on a microphone doing those harmonies, and like you said, because is just like oh, it's mind blowing how great those
it
harmonies.
like it takes you into another realm. Like
Yeah.
I feel like my whole body is like levitating. I don't know, just
Yes.
from that song.
Yes. Yes. And I couldn't agree more. It's just it's so
Yeah.
beautiful. It's just like
Yeah.
wow. And just it goes to show you how great they were, how great singers they were. I mean that they could pull
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because there's
absolutely.
hardly any music going on. It's mostly singing. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a
Yep.
harpsichord in them. I think it's like
Yeah.
it's awesome.
It like kind of blows your mind. It blows
Mind
your mind.
blowing.
And
Yeah.
I always think when I listen to Abbey Road specifically and like Because and those songs, it's just like it's crazy like how many eras the Beatles went through, like compared to their first album. And now like they're doing these like so like different songs compared to like what they were doing like in their early years. And it just shows how talented they are as a group. Like being able to like roll with the times and also like do their own thing and it everything sounds good.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. It's yeah, just they were innovators. There's no question they were innovators for their time. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that these were recorded in 1969 is just unreal. I mean, they still sound fresh today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they still sound fresh and with the times too,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
That's why I always say the Beatles are ahead of their time because they were.
Yeah.
And
And great music is timeless, by the way. Like if you make a great song, it's timeless, you know? And that's
yeah,
a lot of the Beatles stuff is timeless.
yeah. And it just blows me away. It
Yeah.
blows me away because you and mom were born like 1969 and like that's
Yeah.
when Abbey Road was like made and it's just like and it's still relevant. Like it just is crazy.
Yeah.
Like
It's insane.
oh,
Yeah,
awesome. It's
insane.
awesome.
Yeah. So is that 10?
That's
That's 10. All right.
yep.
Okay. Okay. So,
What are your overall thoughts about my song choices here?
well, I will say very interesting that nothing from the White Album and nothing from Sergeant Pepper.
So listen, I
So
actually
do we have
have
honorable mentions in those with those categories?
yes,
Okay.
yes. This one's not in my honorable mentions, because I forgot to add it, but I'll just say it real fast. Now that you mentioned the White Album, I actually did have one song from the White Album that I added and then I took out because I was like trying to edit. But it
Okay.
was it was Julia. It was Julia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, John Lennon's song to his mom. Yep.
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 Yep. Yep. I actually recommended that song too. Is that what it looks like? Is it just white?
It's just completely white. It
Oh my
says the
god.
Beatles on it, but it's embossed.
Oh my gosh.
Embossed.
That's funny.
There it is. Yeah, but it's that was the whole idea of it was like uh they had gone so crazy. That's the whole point of it was that they had gone so nuts with this cover, right? So, it's like so crazy with this
Yeah.
one that they went completely the opposite on the next record and just did a white album cover. It's like
Yep.
pretty
Yep.
funny. Um but um but yeah, I mean, I'm that's my only comment. I'm just thinking about albums that you didn't mention at all. And like nothing from Let It Be as well, right? Nothing from this.
It was hard. I looked through
It's
every
hard.
single one. I'll be real with you. I
Yeah,
looked
no,
through every
I
single
believe you.
album.
I believe you told me you did your research, so I believe you. I'm
Yes,
not
I did.
it's just
And
it's
I
all
wanted to, I
subjective.
just yeah, it is. It is. And it's different for every single person. I just wanted to be very honest with myself and be like, okay, what are the songs that are like my favorite? So,
Right. Right. So
but
so let's get to you said you had honorable mentions, so let's get to that.
yes, for sure. All
Is
right.
Julia's one of them, right?
Yes, Julia is one of them.
Okay.
Julia, very like mellow song, acoustic.
Hmm.
Um, I listen to that one a lot, I will say. Especially on like mellow days. I don't know. It's just a very calming song to listen to. I recommended it to my friend Emma. Shout out. Um,
Nice.
and
Hi, Emma.
she likes it. She likes it. So,
Yeah,
uh,
no, I mean, and Julia is like I said, it's very heartfelt song from John. It's apparently it's combining memories of his mother because his mother's name was Julia, and Julia had encouraged him to play music, and she was really artsy and creative, and she is unlike his father, she had create encouraged him to do music, and then he also says Ocean Child Calls Me. He's also talking about Yoko because he wrote this song in India and Yoko was sending him postcards and he was getting postcards from Yoko in India. And so there's a little bit of Yoko in there too. Uh,
okay.
so this is the beginning of his relationship with Yoko was it was starting.
Well, there
So,
you go.
yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So there's a little tidbit for you on Julia.
Nice.
Mhm.
All right, so that's up there. My next one is Can't Buy Me Love, A Hard
Oh
Day's
yeah.
Night.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This song, I don't know. It's so good. I just love
Amazing.
it. Of course it reminds me of the Patrick Dempsey movie.
Yes.
Um
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yes.
is one of my favorite movies, so
Oh, it's a good movie too, yeah.
I felt the need to add that up there.
It's such a
So
kinetic this has like such a kinetic energy. The Hard Day's Night song, it puts you up like as soon as you turn it up and you hear that ding, that chord, you're like, "Yes!" It just has that energy to it,
yes.
you know?
No,
Yeah.
it totally does. It totally does. Yep. Oh, so the next one actually is also a hard day's night. If I fell.
Oh,
Oh
right.
my God.
Yeah. Yes. Another
Great
one from here.
song.
This is like becoming one of your favorite albums right here.
It yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it is killer. It's a really good album. It really is. It's a very good record.
Yeah, this song also has a lot of great harmonies. And I'm just like, I love a good harmony.
Yeah.
I love adding harmonies on my own. And so when I hear like a good crisp harmony, it's just like chef's kiss. I love it.
Yeah. And apparently, I mean, just another like little side, piggybacking on Hard Day's Night. I mean, they wrote these songs really quickly. Like I guess Brian Epstein was like, "Okay, we're going to make a movie. You need to write like 12 songs like
Wow.
next by, we need them by like, a couple of weeks from now." And it was like they just sat down and cranked out a bunch of songs. And it's just
Yeah.
like, wow. I mean, these are all really, really good songs. Like I love Should Have Known Better is another great I should have known better with a girl like you. I love that's my
Oh,
favorite.
that's a great one.
Yeah.
Hey, hey. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, I love
Isn't
that.
that the song? Isn't that the song they sing on the train in the movie?
Yes, I think
Okay.
yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Anytime at all is another great song. Things We Said Today. I mean, it's a packed album. It really is.
Yeah. 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 For sure. All right. So next is from Help,
Okay.
1965. You're gonna lose that girl.
Oh, yes. Yes. Love that.
You're
You're
gonna
gonna
lose
lose. Yes, yes, you're
that
gonna lose
girl.
that girl. Wait.
Gonna take her out tonight.
Tonight,
You're gonna
gonna
take.
change your mind. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, awesome song.
I'm gonna treat her kind. You're gonna lose that girl. I love the back and forth between John singing lead and then George and Paul doing the responses. It's
Yeah.
just so awesome. I love it, and they do it so well.
Mhm.
I think You're Gonna Lose That Girl is like a really like awesome deep track. Like it wasn't like a huge single or a big song or anything, but
Really?
it's in the movie though. It's the first song they do in the movie, I think.
Yeah. I,
I
I
think
don't really remember Help that
remember
well.
in the movie they're doing it in the
Oh,
studio. The guy goes, "What is that buzzing noise?" And the guy's like, he's like
oh,
cutting the circle around Ringo or whatever.
wait, is Help is the one about the ring?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
Okay.
"Boys, are you buzzing?" And then it's like there's like you see the saw going around Ringo's drum. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
Yeah,
great.
I love that song. All right.
That seems
Rubber
very much like a
Soul.
John song, by the way. I think that's a John led
Yeah,
song. Yeah.
I think so. Next is from Rubber Soul, In My Life.
Okay.
This
Yes.
one was rough. I wanted to put this on my top 10 so bad, but there were other songs where I was like, I really wanted to add. So
Right. Yeah.
it's another great song.
Yes.
I keep s-
Another John song.
Yeah.
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 There you go.
Yep.
So
Again,
in your honorable mentions, John's starting to gain some ground here.
yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's another one of those like emotional songs for me. Like, I don't know, something about it. It's just
Yeah. Oh, I think a lot of people feel that way about it because it's sort of a heartfelt. I mean, a lot of people feel that like if you the lyrics, like if you listen to the lyrics, it's it's very deep.
yeah, it's like there are places I remember in my life.
Though some
Or
have changed,
those some have changed, like, oh my gosh.
and
He's so
it's seriously, it's like we were talking about this when we go to visit Chicago quite often because her McKenna's sister goes to DePaul in Chicago. So we go to Chicago and my wife and I lived there for 12 years. And but it was a while ago now, and we go back and we're like, oh, that restaurant's gone, or oh, that's not there anymore, or though what happened? It's like you go back and you're like, wow, things have changed. It's just weird. It just makes you feel,
yeah.
that song kind of talks a little bit about that, how things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And especially I think for me, I just finished my first year of college. And like I feel like during that year I listened to the Beatles a lot because it's very nostalgic. And some of those songs like Something and In My Life, like Here, There, Everywhere, I'm like, oh my God. Like it just it's emotional for me because it's like all those lyrics are just emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional.
Yeah, I get
So
it. I get it. Totally get it. Yeah.
especially for change in your life, like In My Life is kind of talking about. So
Yeah, and that's why people can relate to these songs too, is because they're relatable, right? They're relatable to your life. So,
I also love the do 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 like
yeah, another
riff.
great riff.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, this one I was gonna put my top 10. This is what I kind of mentioned earlier. The Fool on the Hill.
Oh, there we
Magical.
go. There's more Magical Mystery Tour. Okay.
This was another song that kind of itched my brain too. And I
Yes.
remember in fourth grade, I was learning how to play the recorder because it was like mandatory at my school. And the recorder is in that song. And so
Yes.
I was
Yes.
trying to learn how to play it, and I'm pretty sure I did, but
You got, yeah, I remember you playing it. Yes, I remember
yeah,
that. Yep. Fool on the Hill. It's a good one. That's a Paul song.
yep.
Yep. And yep. And it's also in Glass Onion. Told you about the Fool on the Hill. I'll tell you, man, he living there still. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah. Great song. Great
Yeah.
song. Great song.
Great,
Uh
great.
next, actually yellow I put Yellow Submarine, but there's technically not a Yellow Submarine album, is there?
Well, there is. There's a Yellow Submarine soundtrack.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I put Hey Bulldog.
Yeah, that's from the Yellow Submarine
Yeah.
soundtrack. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. And I
Yeah.
think it's came out in 68,
I put 16 I put 69, but that could be
9
wrong.
maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what year it came out. I think it came 68 or 69. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Hey Bulldog, that's a great choice. That's like a great deep track. And
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
John. Like John is making a comeback on your honorables. Because
Yeah.
I noticed he was sort of hurt, like it was more Paul and George centric in your top 10 or whatever, your first 10, but now
Yes. Yep.
John's making more of a an appearance on your
Yeah, for sure.
honorables. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that boat down down but down 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 down. That's that's a really good deep track.
I'm surprised they actually, now that I think about it, I'm surprised they haven't like played that at I go to Butler
Mhm.
University. So
Yeah,
I'm
right.
surprised they haven't played that because we're the Bulldogs.
You should
Or
bring
no,
that. You should start that. You should be like,
I
hey, we're
know.
gonna play this song.
We need
Um,
we need a new theme song.
I saw a friend of mine play. It was funny. I forgot, kind of hadn't heard the song in a really long time, and I saw one of my friends playing live in Chicago. This is like many, many years ago, and he played this song. He played "Hey Bulldog," and it was so cool. Like he did a great version of it. It was like, yes, it was. I loved it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can talk to
To
me.
me, you can't
You
talk to me.
Yeah, that's another I think nostalgic song for me because I feel like we watched Yellow Submarine a couple of times.
We did.
Like
We did.
I fully remember that movie.
Yes,
So
we did. Yep.
that's a good one.
Because it was
I
a
think
cartoon. It was you guys were
it is
young.
a cartoon. It is a
Cartoons.
cartoon, and I'm pretty sure like they're running around like trying to get away from the dogs, or they're like in the piano or something. It's like
Yeah, like it's like the blue meanies like put a
yeah,
dog, like threw a dog at him or something. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, but nostalgic song nonetheless.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yep.
All right. This I mentioned earlier, and I was like, okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Sun King, Abbey Road.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here comes the Sun King.
Here comes the Sun King. Great song.
Everybody is happy.
Happy.
Yeah. Here's this fun fact for you on Sun. I think Here Comes the Sun King. I think it is inspired by Fleetwood Mac. Uh,
Really?
the original Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green. They did a
Okay.
song called, they did a song called Albatross, I believe, and
Okay.
it was very mellow and it's very in this very similar sounding to Sun King.
Oh,
Um, so I think this is the song. I believe this is the song that was inspired by Fleetwood Mac. So
yeah.
because even George says in an interview at the time he was promoting this, it was 1969. He's promoting this album, and he said something like, "It's our version of Fleetwood Mac." So it's pretty cool.
There you
Fun
go.
fact. Yeah,
Yeah. Great song. Great song.
yeah. All
Said that
right.
about every
Oh
single
yeah,
song.
great.
All right.
Another great. Yep.
Another great song. This is the last one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and I'm curious to hear what you have to say. But I put Golden Slumbers from Abbey Road.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. I mean, come on. That second side medley, it's like unbeatable,
Yeah.
right?
It's a great song. And again, the lyrics, once there was a way to get
Get back
back.
homeward.
Oh,
Once there was a way to get back home. Yeah.
see, pretty darling. Like it's so good. It's
And
so
this
good.
is
And
really when the Beatles were starting to have problems. Like they were
yeah,
starting,
well, yeah,
as
yeah,
we know the story now that like some of these songs were about they were starting to break up, and they were having problems, and like You Never Give Me Your Money was part of the like issues they were having with management. And um I think Golden Slumbers kind of has that feeling of like him being a little melancholy, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, and apparently Golden Slumbers is like a song, it's like a traditional song, and it's apparently Paul went home and Golden Slumbers was on the, it was like on the music stand in front of his piano, and he didn't know how to read music, so he just, I don't know, he somehow, I can't remember the whole story, but it had something to do with like he made his own version of it.
Mm,
So that's kind of like the story behind Golden Slumbers. It was like a song, the traditional song that Paul kind of changed and made his own, essentially.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I will say, I feel like Golden Slumbers is like a song that never dies. It always gets brought up again. Like, Jennifer Hudson did a cover of it. It was for a movie. I listened to that version a lot too. I'm pretty sure it was for like this movie called Sing, which is like a kids animated movie, but she did a cover of it for that, and it's very good. It's very
yeah,
good.
it's I mean,
Actually,
and I can't help, I always feel like it's just part of the medley. Like I can't, whenever I think of Golden Slumbers, I also think of Carry That Weight, you're gonna carry
yeah,
that.
exactly. It just
Then I
keeps
always think
going.
of, and then I think of the end, like, you know, oh yeah, all
All
right,
right. Yeah.
you know, like just the, and then Ringo's drum solo. I just, it's like all one song for me.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure there was one time where you and I listened to all of Abbey Road like for a road trip or something, and
we did.
just
I think
listening just listening to like the end where it just like keeps going. It's like, oh my gosh. And
it just, yeah. And then at the end when he says, it just, yeah, it gives you the chills, the whole like, and in the end,
and in the end,
the love you take is equal to the love you made. It's like, oh,
oh,
what a great line to end
oh,
the Beatles career with. So perfect.
yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely, absolutely.
yep. So,
All
uh,
right, well, that about wraps up my list.
all right. Well, that's the list, people. That's it. I mean, we got nothing else for you. So I didn't come prepared for any list, as I said earlier. So that's basically the episode. So, you know, feel free to comment and let us know what your favorite Beatles songs are. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
I there's a lot of people that love the early stuff. There's a lot of people that love the sort of middle stuff, the whole like, because they have these different phases where the beginning is kind of like this straight ahead, stuff that's like sort of R&B, kind of poppy R&B. Um and then they have the whole like middle period, which is like, Rubber Soul and Revolver, where they start to change. And then, but it still sort of has that flavor of the beginning, but it kind of starts shifting. And then there's the whole like the real shift of like, then it gets into like Sergeant Pepper and Magical Mystery Tour, where they really change a lot.
Yeah,
And then,
absolutely.
and then they kind of get back to like White Album. Then it kind of shifts back again to White Album and Abbey Road and Let It Be. Um,
Yeah.
so there's so many different phases of the Beatles, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what your favorite Beatles songs are. Thanks, McKenna, for coming on the channel.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
So happy that you were finally able to get you on the channel. So you'll be back again soon, I'm sure. We'll figure something else out.
No, I'm very honored to be a guest on this podcast. Or it's like
Yes.
a video podcast, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
uh,
I love interacting with your band your friends like online and on the live streams. You know
yes,
what I mean?
yes, McKenna jumps on the when we do a premiere and everyone's, commenting on the premiere. She jumps in there too, which is awesome. I always love that.
Yeah.
So I
Say you
appreciate.
can say hi to me now. You know who I
And now
am.
you know who she is, right? Exactly. When she jumps in the live streams or whatever, you can be like, "Oh yeah, I know McKenna."
Yep.
So anyway, I always have to say, please like and subscribe if you like what you see, because that really helps the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that ooh, look at that. Wow, you're fancy.
What?
I don't think it works for me. Doesn't work. Anyway,
I don't know.
but please hit the like button, please subscribe, and we will see you next time on Curless Mania.